Hello there, welcome to Le Castellet in France for round 12 of the 2022 World Championship. Mercedes clearly showing that their poor performance in Austria was merely a blip on their radar this season. George Russell on pole position, Lewis Hamilton second place. I think Russell getting the strategic nod yesterday, much the same way as Hamilton got the strategic nod in Canada. But once we see one Mercedes driver get on top, the other tends to get back on top again. They haven't elected a number one yet, that's clear. And probably won't until one is mathematically out of the World Championship, I believe. Charles Leclerc has got on top of his qualifying problems, and he is ahead of Carlos Sainz on the grid as Ferrari put in a neat and tidy qualifying session and qualify both of them ahead of Max Verstappen, who is in 5th place, and with Sergioperez back in 10th. This looks like it could be an extremely difficult race for Red Bull. They haven't got the pace. Their best prognosis potentially is 5th and 6th, maybe snatch a position from one of the Ferraris if Ferrari's race pace isn't quite up to scratch yet. But really not looking easy at all for Red Bull this weekend. And we look through the grid and you can see the Hasses have done well as well. Magnussen in 9th, Mick Schumacher in 13th. So they've had some strong performances, they've had some poor ones, but they are at least competitive this weekend. Nico Hülkenberg out-qualifies Pierre Gasly, but AlphaTauri overall, their performance nowhere near that peak they did in Austria. Likewise, you can see with Alfa Romeo, no repeat of Bottas' stunning heroics from Austria, but they are at least in good solid positions in what I believe is 8th and 11th for Bottas and Zhou. Yuki Tsunoda yet to get to grips with the Williams and qualifying trim. He starts last. So here we go then. Mercedes, they're back in top in qualifying. Can they hold on in the race? Is that pace truly back? Is it going to convert to race pace as well as qualifying pace? We'll soon find out. Russell is away well, but Hamilton pulls alongside, and Verstappen has had a really good start. Verstappen's got one of the Ferraris already. He's going to try and take the other one into turn 1, and through Max Verstappen goes. Lots and lots of pace there from Max Verstappen. So he is clearly a threat. The race pace of the Red Bull, we know that he said their qualifying pace hasn't been good, but quite often this year the race pace of the Red Bull has left nothing to be desired. It's been right there, and at the moment George Russell leading Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen up in the 3rd. Then you have Leclerc and Sainz in the 2 Ferraris behind in 4th and 5th place. So the battle for the French Grand Prix is on. Mercedes have the track position. They have the advantage of being able to use one car to hold the other car back. But right now, that is not happening. They are squabbling, George Russell and Lewis Hamilton. I think they are battling for the right to be the top Mercedes in this year's World Drivers' Championship. And there doesn't look to be much team tactics going on in this race. This is very definitely a battle at Brackley. And Perez has dropped back, as you can see, so he has got a bit of work to do, even to get back into the low points positions. So, what very good start from one Red Bull, not so much for the other. And Hamilton having a little look at George Russell. He is going to be very keen to try to get up there and hold Max Verstappen back as well. Lots of work for Mercedes to do to make sure that they retain this one too. But they are hungry and they are trying it, that's for sure. And they've got some ground to make up after a poor Austrian weekend. Russell still leading as we come to the end of turn 1, the end of lap 1. And this, remember, this is a 2-lap race, so we are already at the halfway point in this French Grand Prix. George Russell leads over the line, Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, and then the 2 Ferraris. Still very much in that formation that they were in after the start. And Hamilton is starting to get aggressive, trying every line. So a little bollard flying there. I don't know if either Hamilton or Verstappen hit that. Doesn't appear to be any damage done to either car at the moment. Hamilton now getting alongside Russell, and maybe is he going to go along the outside? George holds it off, and Hamilton doesn't want it to be a situation like Canada where he attacks George in one corner and then compromises himself against the Red Bull behind him in the next one. I don't think he has though. Lewis has clearly got a lot of pace here. He wants to use it. He isn't going to give up on trying to pass his teammate for the win of this one. He wants to get another victory this season. I think George Russell is the one with the most wins actually. Oh, Verstappen did a slide and he's off, Max Verstappen. Well, what on earth's happened there? I think, was it a mistake? He made a mistake in Austria clearly, but he's out of the race. I get a feeling that it was actually a brake issue. We know that Red Bull have had issues this season with their reliability, and Max, of course, brakes have cost him in Spain, so it wouldn't be impossible. But there goes Hamilton through on George Russell. He has been trying for a long time, and Lewis Hamilton, as we come towards the close of the French Grand Prix, Lewis Hamilton finally leads this race, and then it's George Russell tucking into second. Then you've got the 2 Ferraris and Alonso up in the 5th in the Alpine. So decent performance from him, nice and solid, even though he's not seemed to have the pace. But Lewis Hamilton leading out of the final turn. He is going to get another victory in his career, and Lewis Hamilton gets the win here. George Russell finishes in second place, and Mercedes 1-2. And as the season goes on, apart from the odd blip, they are looking stronger and stronger. And when Red Bull's reliability is not doing them any sort of justice at all, they have got to be concerned looking over their shoulder at the silver arrows, because Mercedes are coming for you, Red Bull, and you're going to have to work hard to hold on now, because there is clearly a steely determination in both of those Mercedes drivers. So Lewis Hamilton wins the Grand Prix, George Russell second place, Mercedes 1-2, then a Ferrari 3-4 with Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. A very decent performance from Ferrari. They have been gradually improving in recent races, not to standout degree, but they are improving a little bit with each race that goes by. And Ferrari, they're keeping their heads down, they're staying calm, they're working hard, and it's starting to pay off. Fernando Alonso, he finishes 5th in the Alpine. Valtteri follows up his win in Austria with a decent 6th place here in the Alfa Romeo. Very good from Valtteri. And then Esteban Ocon 7th in the Alpine. Kevin Magnussen finishes 8th for Haas, so did manage to make the most of a good qualifying position. Sergio Perez went from 10th to 9th, and one car ahead of him retired, which was his teammate. So Perez hasn't actually gained any positions in this race. I think he lost a few at the start, so he was just trying to claw them back. But yeah, a massively disappointing weekend for Sergio Perez, who we got to remember is still in the championship battle, and he is still second place in it. So yeah, with Max going out, Perez, if he'd have qualified 6th and finished 5th, he would have been really quite close to his teammate again now. But no, didn't happen. Lance Stroll, he finishes 10th. And I think it's worth giving a special mention to Yuki Tsunoda, because he started last in the Williams, but he hustled it all the way up into 11th place. So really decent performance from Yuki there. The Drivers' World Championship then. Max Verstappen still leads it on 164 points, but it's now been 2 races since Max scored any points. Is also, I think Monaco was Red Bull's last win, so we've seen Mercedes victories 3 races in a row, then an Alfa Romeo victory, then another Mercedes victory. But before that, Red Bull had 4 in a row. So they've really fallen off of that clinical ability to deliver the results, and they need to seriously have a look at themselves and sort that out, because they're going to lose the World Championship if this continues, because Max is on 164, Perez on 149, but George Russell is now on 138. He's only 26 behind, and Hamilton on 128. Leclerc's on 111. He can even do it if things change and Ferrari keep improving. Red Bull 313, Mercedes 266, Ferrari 218 in the constructors. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Take care.